Hello and welcome to another update. Not going to be talking about too much this week, I don't think, he says. So, made a lot of you happy this week, hopefully. I took a bit of a decision this week and I was noticing that we've got lots and lots and lots of labels. Lots of labels, that's what I was up to. I got disturbed there, sorry. The phone went. So, there's lots of labels where you've bought like various coins and not upgraded them. And so this is going on and going on and going on, and of course I'm thinking, well, maybe some of you probably not seeing the updates, whatever. So I took a decision today, this week, by going through some of those labels, seeing what people have paid for, seeing what they're owed, as it were, and cancelling some off and putting it towards something else. So, for example, somebody bought 3 cheap and cheerful Gruffalos. They hadn't upgraded the Gruffalo, so I sent them a Bunce Gruffalo instead of 3 cheap and cheerfuls. And so I did that with a lot of you. And I put a handwritten note in with every single one, and I hope that was okay. So that you at least get something now. Get something now. With the RAFs, I'm looking at the RAFs, I'm looking at how fast they're going out the door. We're already sold out now. I've ordered some more. And this might be the last delivery I get of the RAFs. I've got a funny feeling they're not going to be available after this. So I've got some more coming, but I'm looking at all them the RAFs, and because some of you haven't upgraded your RAFs, I'm selling out, and yet you paid something towards an RAF ages ago, but you ain't getting the coin. So I thought, well, better to get 2 or 3 than none. So depending on what you paid, good condition, uncirculated, I looked at that, worked out the money in my head, and sent you less, but sent you package coins instead. So you will have got deliveries that you weren't expecting. And we also covered a lot of the A to Z sets as well. So if you bought uncirculated A to Z sets, they ended up getting covered because we got some uncirculated coins in. So those of you that bought cheap and cheerful A to Z sets and good condition A to Z sets, you need to upgrade, or we just leave it in the list until we eventually find them. But all of the uncirculated people, they've now been sorted. So every single one, last one's in the post today, tomorrow. When I say they're done as in packaged, but they're going in the post today or tomorrow. So you'll be getting them by the end of this week or next week or something like that. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention was the voucher code from last week. I had a few people email in and say that they couldn't use it, and even a couple of people that I know personally. All I can say is I've got no idea. I don't know why it didn't work for you. It worked for over 100 other people. They used it no problem at all. I checked it myself and used it and found that it worked at the checkout page. So I have I'm beat. I do not know why it didn't work for you. I can only guess that you wasn't signed in, because I think that if you're not signed in to our site, then it will give you a problem using the voucher code. Just like if you're not signed into our site, you can't go to your rewards account. But other than that, if you were signed in, I have no idea, and I'm really sorry. But we've dealt with those people that had the issue. So if you was someone that had the issue, get in touch. So I'm sorry about that, but a lot of people did manage to use it, and it really did work. All of the, or just about all of the BU package, Samuel Pepys and Wedgwood have gone out or are in the process of being done. So expect to get those next week. If you bought cheap and cheerful, good condition and so on of those, don't expect to get them because we don't think they're coming out into circulation. So really you need to upgrade. But this time I haven't put upgrades up. So you'll have to email Logan, tgbch@outlook.com, and we'll sort out a personal upgrade for you so that you can upgrade it and get your coin. Another one, so we've got another one coming out. So now we've got Paddington Bear at the Tower and Paddington Bear at the Palace. Not at the Palace, Paddington Bear at the Tower, Paddington Bear at St Paul's Cathedral. All right, now, for the first time, remember I've been talking about how I'm trying to bring the prices lower and lower and lower and lower. As long as I can sell enough of them in advance, then it makes it worth the delivery all the way from Europe and all that. Okay, so I've got them in the advance order section. We've cleaned the advance order section up now, taken a load of stuff out of there that doesn't belong there. My bad for that. I should have kept an eye on that, sorry. So it's now not cluttered. There's only a few things in the advance order section. We're not doing advance orders on the A to Z sets anymore because we've got all of the A to Z letters in bunts. So we can sell any letter, but so I've taken the advance orders off for circulated coins. It's too problematic. So anybody that's bought good condition or cheap and cheerful either has to have a refund, or they can leave it there until we eventually one day find it, or they can upgrade to a bunts. But what was I saying? Yeah, Paddington. So Paddington at Tower, Paddington at the Cathedral. You can get the bunts version packaged, proper packaged. Most of you have had one off us now of a packaged coin, so you know it's the proper Royal Mint quality packaged coin. They're not knockoffs or cheap knockoffs or anything like that. So Paddington packaged is £8.95. The Paddington silver proof £59.95, and the Paddington gold proof is I think £750, slightly below the Mint's selling price. But the prices on these will change the moment they come in, because as soon as we can advertise them on eBay, the price has to go up. I can't advertise them on eBay at that price. And continually sell them at that price, but I will do it for advance order now, because with the advance order business is always supposed to be in order to get it cheaper and cheaper and cheaper for you. So, and I'm banking on us being able to sell about 800 would do, 800 individual packaged coins of both of them each, and maybe about 50 silvers and half a dozen gold proofs. If we get all that sold in advance, I'll be quite happy. So if you like one of that, you can use your reward points. Don't be too long on it, because we're not going to be taking that many advanced orders for the silver and gold. Obviously, we don't know what the allowance will be and the quantity will be that we will be able to get. So it might be that some of you might end up getting refunded if we can't supply it. When I say that, it's because if too many of you opt in to buy it, I have to go to the first person first, the second person second, and so on. It will be in strict order, and so the person that comes last, if suddenly we're not allowed anymore, then that person will lose out. Sorry about that, and if that happens, we will give you a bonus of a few points for your inconvenience. But because I'm not allowed to know how many I might be allowed, it's all a gamble, it's all a risk, it's all a, well, it's not a risk, it's all a gamble really, it's all a guess, isn't it? I have to see what we're allowed. But I would imagine that I would be safe up to about 50 silvers and probably a dozen gold. Depends how early I get the order in. So if you order it quick enough, I will have the order in quick enough, we'll be able to supply everybody. Okay, so you can get both of those now on the advance order section, but don't buy it expecting to get it next week. Remember, it is an advance order and it will be delivered within 30 days of the release date. I can guarantee that because we're not waiting for something that's going to come out in circulation that we've got to find. It's within the release date. You will get it within 30 days of the release date. So I hope we're totally clear on that. This week's winner, by the way, is Mark Taylor. So you get 20 quid for reward points winging its way to your account. Go and do a bit of shopping. Right, now we come to one of those embarrassing moments where Ian commits a faux pas or a dopey mistake and all the rest of it. Well, yeah, I've done another one of those. So I'm packaging late at night, watching the telly while I'm packaging. And I sort of glazed over a bit. I'd been packaging all day, like non-stop all day. And it was to do with the Kew Gardens sets and individual Kew Gardens coins and that kind of thing. We're sort of on that at the moment, getting all those out. So don't worry if you've ordered one of those. If you're not, they're on their way or coming on their way. We got sent 150 of them, so they're going out in order. We're waiting on another 250 because we'd ordered 400, but only 150 came. So we're expecting another 250 next week or the week after. Nothing I can do about that. I'm sorry. I expected them all this week. Anyway, packaging, and I must have glazed over a bit because I just went off me. I just lost my train of thought really, and some of the people that I'd promised that I would put extra this in and extra that in, I didn't put it in. I just and sealing. Anyway, so don't be too upset with me. if I promised you, you know whether I promised you or not, because you know whether you paid the original price, which was the higher price. So you paid the higher price, you're entitled to the extra. It's simple as that. And I messed up on a few. So if I've messed up on yours, would you do me a favour and send an email in to Logan, tgbch@outlook.com, little email in to Logan, and just let him know that you was one of the customers that Dopey Ian forgot to put the extras in for. And he will then look up the order, he'll confirm you were one of the people that paid the extra, he'll check with me. I know roughly what batch it was that I was doing. I don't know every single customer of that batch, but I know roughly what batch it was. So I know that it wasn't that, and it wasn't that customer, it wasn't that customer, but, you know, out of this batch I did. So if you're one of those, just get in touch with Logan and we'll sort that out for you. We'll fix it. As always, when I balls it up, I'll fix it. But I'd rather not have cocked that up. I'd rather you have opened the package and gone, ah, brilliant, brilliant, instead of opened the package and gone, he promised to send and he hasn't sent, and don't want that really. So I'm sorry about that. Anyway, get in touch. I will fix it. Just allow a bit of patience, because he's got to deal with that email as well as the other bits and bobs that he's doing. But we will get it fixed for you, and get you the extra free bits that I did promise that you would get. Stand on me, you'll get them. Sorry about that. So voucher code for this week is Paddington, Paddington, Paddington 4, the number 4, Paddington 4. That's your voucher code this week, and it's worth £1.80, and it's worth £1.80, and you've got to spend £1.79 or more to spend the £1.80. I'm also getting ready to write the new guides, £2, £1.50, that kind of thing, over the next couple of months. So any ones that I've got left over from the last lot, they're going to be redundant when I do these. So I've been putting them in some packages. So if you end up getting one of these guides and you've already got one, then perhaps you give it away to somebody, or use it to give to someone and recommend them to the site. Get them to use your referral code for the rewards program, where you can earn 100 quid for recommending a friend. That's the payout now. 100 quid you get for recommending a friend once they've spent, nearly fell off the chair. Once they've spent 600 quid, however long that takes, and it doesn't matter how long it takes, but once they've spent it, bang, you'll get 100 quid. So, you know, if you invite 50 friends to the site, for example, or use your referral link to get 50 people, and then over the course of the next couple of years, you know, one person spent 600 quid within 6 months, another person might take 2 years, another person might take 8 months, another person might take 2 months. Every now and again, you'll have 100 quids popping in. Bump, bump, it'll just plump, plump, it'll start coming in, regular as clockwork. So get recommending and get your link out there. At the end of the day, a person can only be referred once. So whether they come from your link or whether they come from somebody else's link, they're only going to be referred once. So you might as well use your link, mightn't you? And give them a guide or something. Now, while we're on the subject of members and gaining new members and so on, I'd really like to get our Facebook page past the 20,000 mark. So I wonder if you wouldn't mind maybe sharing some posts or inviting people to like the page. If maybe invite some friends or something, even if you only invite half a dozen or something. If everybody invited half a dozen, we'd have like loads. So I just wonder if you'd help Morag get it past the 20 mark, because that's been a goal, is to get it past the 20 mark. So I wonder if you could help do that. We would be very grateful. Just invite people to like the page, and same with Instagram and Twitter. If you could maybe recommend us to be followed, or I forget what you have to do on those sites because I don't use them, but I think there's something that you can do to recommend to be followed and one thing another and liked and that kind of thing. So maybe you'd help us like build them up a little bit. That would be fantastic. Thanks very much. And use your referral code all the time, because then you get the... Now I'm going to mention some coins in the investment video that I think everybody should be putting their money into. Mind you, you've heard me mention them like a broken record anyway, but you know, the coins, like all these coins, I mean, do you remember the snowman? And people sort of said, well, that ain't gone up much. It'd only been out 5 minutes. Well, that's now gone up in price. I put it up in price last week to 25 quid. And as I said, I don't care if I sit on them because that's all I've got. I'm down to the last 15 or 20 or whatever it was I said last week. Sold half of them. You know, even at 25 quid, I've sold half of them. So they're when I'm down to my last 6, I'm going to put the price up again because that's all I've got for however long, you know, however much they are out there. So you need to be getting on that, you know. And the thing is, if you want to put something away for your kids, you might only be a young parent. You might only have kids of like in nappies or something like that. And you might be skint and you ain't got a lot of money to put away into pension pots and things like that at your age. And I get that. I totally get that. So if you would take a little bit of advice from me to those people that are really skint or not, to those people that ain't got the money, shall we say, you don't have to be really skint, just ain't got the money to be investing 100 quid here and 100 quid there in your pension. You know, anybody that's either totally skint or within that bracket, if you like, if you would take a bit of advice, it would be to say, buy one of those coins. It doesn't matter what one you buy. It really doesn't matter. Jane Austen, Aviation, any of the RAF coins, Frankenstein, Armistice, what else was there? Captain Cook. We've now got Wedgwood in and Samuel Pepys, Gruffalo 50p, Stephen Hawkins 50p, Snowman 50p, Peter Rabbit 2019 50p. Any of those coins, any of them. If you can afford to buy any of them, buy them. Put them away in the wardrobe. If you can only afford to buy one in a month, then buy one in a month. Because you've just put away 150 quid guaranteed for 10 years time. Cannot fault that. Nobody would ever convince me otherwise. You know, a coin that's had 250,000 in circulation and it takes 10 years and is now worth 150 quid. Don't tell me that a coin with no circulation is not going to be worth more than that after 10 years. Logic dictates it, the numbers game dictates it, supply and demand dictates it, mathematics dictate it. All of that dictates the fact that in 10 years time, every single one of those coins will be hitting dizzying heights like 150 to 200 pounds. I absolutely guarantee that with every drop of my internal blood circuitry, whatevers. You know, if I could say, if it doesn't reach that price, I will buy it back off you for, half the price that I'm estimating it's going to be worth, I would say that. But that would mean nothing because, you know, you'd go, yeah, but you might not live another 10 years in. But the thing is, that's how much I believe it. Every single one of those coins. Don't listen to anybody that says, oh, collectors won't want them because they're not circulated. Don't listen to that. Don't listen to that. Everybody will want it. You know, only 100,000 dual dates were circulated, but don't tell me that if you haven't got one, you don't want one. Of course you want one. Of course you want one. You know, it's just that you perhaps don't want to pay the money or you want to find it to have the enjoyment of it, but don't tell me you don't want one. And that's it, you know. Don't tell me that people that collect coins don't want the ones that ain't going to go in circulation. Most people will want it, and every one of those is going to go up and up and up and up and up in value. I've still got a Peter Rabbit gold proof. I've still got a couple of silver proofs, and just for this weekend, I'm going to put the price down a little bit on the Peter Rabbit gold and silver proof, so you have a look at it this week. But get in on the new one, get in on the Paddington. Let's get them ordered and sold before we even get there. I think what I've got in stock that you'll get right now really cheap is Peter Rabbit 2019 Bunsen packaged, Frankenstein packaged, Gruffalo Bunsen packaged. Those are the ones that I can do at the cheapest. So get in on those, because you're going to be literally 10 to 20 times your money over the next 10 years. That's what I can't guarantee it. I want to use the word guarantee, but you know, that's what I'm letting you know that they will be in 10 years time. 10 to 20 times your money. There's a couple of investments left. Several denominations sold out, but there's a couple left. So if you want to invest, get in touch. You can. We don't have to worry about paying bank to bank now or anything like that. You just go on and buy it and pay by WorldPay. WorldPay's not the easiest, I do admit that, and I'm really sorry if you're having issues with WorldPay. I'm in discussions with them. At the moment, when you go to pay, you go to the checkout page, you enter your voucher code, click apply. Then you go to the bottom of the page and it says continue to shipping method. Then you go to the bottom of the next page and it says continue to payment method. And then it takes you off site, it's called off site, to pay. And then when you've paid, it's all secure and everything, there's no worries there. And then when you've paid, you go back, it hasn't emptied your basket, so make sure you empty your basket. You just have to delete it from your basket. I'm not happy with that arrangement, and I'm in discussions with them to see if we can't get that changed a bit. It's apparently more expensive to have it on site rather than off site, and I've chosen the cheaper version, it seems. So probably wasn't fully explained to me what the difference would be, but now I can see it with my own eyes, and I'm not happy with it, let alone you. But I'm really sorry. And for those of you that are going, bring back PayPal, understand this, please. PayPal finished for me. It's finished. I'm not bringing PayPal back. PayPal is finished for me. They've done this to us one too many times. I'm not going back to PayPal. I'm sticking with WorldPay. PayPal are too dangerous for anybody. Don't leave any money in PayPal. You got any money in there? Take it out. Okay, so apologies for the way that WorldPay is working, but we are trying to make it better. I've gone way over time. I don't even know if this will upload, so I'll call it a day there. Speak to you next week. I'll do another one for the investment and the legal action.